Good morning. We are the lunar crew Picard, and we are going to present about the Picard crater. First of all, who are we? Our crew members are Daniel Medina, me, Brown Bear, Javier Benavides, or Golden Eagle, Ioana Simona Rosca, or White Tiger, and Elizabeth Wallace, or Ayaka Khan.
These are our pledges. We pledge to be a responsible crew member, following all the protocols, listen and appreciate the ideas and opinions of all crew, ask and give help if needed, tell the truth and admit when someone makes a mistake, remember what's at stake for some members, have fun and enjoy the moment.
So, selenology, or the lunar science, is the study of geology of the moon. It has no atmosphere, which leads to no weather erosion, no plate tectonics. It has a lower gravity. It cools faster since it's smaller. And like Earth, it has crust, mantle, and core. If you look at the moon from the Earth, the prime meridian runs now north from south, right down the center of the near side of the moon. The red dot here in the area to the upper right is the location of the Picard crater. It is located in quadrant 62 of the lunar astronautical chart.
Picard is a lunar impact crater in the hardened sea of basaltic lava flow called the Mare Crisium, which means the Sea of Crises. It's just northeast of the Sea of Tranquility, where the Apollo astronauts first set foot on the moon in 1969. Its coordinates, measured from its center, is 14.57 degrees north and 54.72 degrees east. That means it's almost 55 degrees east to the right of the lunar prime meridian. Craters usually have some or all of the following features: a surrounding area with materials splashed out on the ground when the crater was formed. They're typically lighter in shade. A raised rim consisting of materials ejected but landing close by. A crater wall, the downward sloping portion of the crater. The crater floor, a more or less smooth, flat area, which as it ages accumulates small craters of its own. And a central peak, but those are only found in some craters with a diameter exceeding 26 kilometers. Picard crater is the biggest crater in this area, not flooded with lava in this mare. The floor is relatively bright compared to the surrounding basalt, which means it's likely the deepest material uncovered by the impact. LROC WAC digital elevation model for the area tells us that Picard crater's floor is about 2,300 meters below the surface, which is also the thickness of the Mare Crisium basalt. Could this reveal part of the ancient lunar surface? Back in the 1990s, spectroscopic studies found evidence of a mixed signature of basaltic and highland rock in the impact melt. Highland rock is ancient lunar surface rock not covered by basalt. Learning about the volcanic stratigraphy helps us understand the lunar geological timescale. Picard was likely formed during the Eratosthenian period, 3.2 to 1.1 billion years ago, and the hills at the bottom were likely caused by impact melt at the time of the strike. The crater walls are made up of a series of terraces which are attributed to a collapse of the crater floor, according to seismologists. On Picard crater's wall, there are cracks in a terrace which indicate that impact melt flooded the terrace. Pressures and temperatures surrounding the point where the asteroid or comet hits the lunar surface are so high that rocks can be instantaneously melted to a liquid, which then cools and cracks. Next.
Previous slide, please.
No, previous, yeah, sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, I forgot to say next every time.
Okay, we can edit that part, so I am going to continue, okay?
Okay.
There are other craters with the name Picard. They are called satellite craters, like the most craters on the moon. Their names consist of the name of a nearby named crater and a capital letter. They are named for their location, not for their association with the formation of the larger crater. Next.
The crater was named for Jean Picard, a French astronomer from the 18th century who was also a geodesist. He was the first to accurately measure the Earth in 1669 and 1670. Isaac Newton was to use this value in his theory of universal gravitation.
And we would like to make emphasis on three main advantages found on the Picard crater. First, due to the crater's location, communication with Earth will be easier, since the crater is always facing Earth. The second advantage is the basalt found on the Mare Crisium. This basalt can be used as an aggregate in construction material, but most importantly, basalt fiber can be used for 3D printing. These 3D printers have better properties than the usual materials. For example, it is 15 times stronger than plastic, 5 times lighter than steel, and 1.5 times stronger and lighter than aluminum. Finally, since the crater is relatively flat, it can be easily terraformed for the new habitat, and with the materials obtained from the basalt, making edifications can be much easier.
And finally, we have some disadvantages. First, meteor strikes are common during events such as meteor showers. Unlike craters in the poles, the crater is very hot at day, very cold at night, and water from meteor impact can evaporate easily since there's no constant darkness. And that's all for us. Thank you very much for listening to us.